Well, hello, enemies book lovers. My name is Ash and welcome back to my channel. We are here for my August wrap-up. I read an okay amount of books in the month of August. Actually, my page count wasn't too bad either. Could have done better, but still, not too bad. I do want to mention things that I did finish that were not book related. If you don't care about this, I have a timestamp down below so you can skip it. But I usually don't really finish things I start other than books, which is kind of surprising to me, but I finish books all the time. But when it comes to every other hobby in my life, I never finish anything else. So yeah, like video games, anime, things that are not novels, I don't tend to finish. So let me tell you the one thing I actually completed in August that wasn't a book. That was an anime, which is Dororo, which is actually the newer adaptation. There was an older one. This is the newer one. I actually started this years and years ago. Dory, if you're watching this, you know what this is because we watched it together with our other friend and we never finished it. So I finally got around to finishing it like years and years later, and it was really sweet, really good. It's a very action-based anime featuring the main character Hyakimaru following Dororo alongside of him. Hyakimaru lost parts of his body from his parents, kind of casting his body away to demons to kind of like prosper their own kingdom. And so Hyakimaru is trying to gain his parts of his own body back and kind of discovering himself. And it's a really beautifully sad story, but also more so like action-y based. So if you like action, things like Demon Slayer, but with a little bit more serious tones, with only a few little once in a while humorous parts, I really enjoyed this one. It was really fast and easy. I think it's like 24 episodes, even though it took me years to finish, so I liked it a lot. Had a good time with it. I have around 6 other anime I'm in the middle of, so who knows which one I'll finish next. But hey, if I actually finish one, I'll let you know what the next one is. But until then, let's talk about the actual novels. So we're going into the novels right now. Although the next one is going to be manga, so if you don't care about this, skip ahead again. I'll put it in the timestamps down below. I read volume 32 and 33 of Black Butler by Yana Toboso. I am almost done. I have 1 volume left to catch up, so I am at the very end of my journey with Black Butler. It's getting a lot better at the end of the series, so I'm having a great time right now, so I'm not really complaining about anything. It isn't really a series I'd recommend to many people. It's very kind of like, it doesn't have a huge amount of plot until the end of the series. Like right now, there's a lot of plot, and oh my god, I'm so scared because one of my favorite characters is Snake, I think his name is, or whatever it is. The one with the snakes, him. He's one of my favorite characters. He's the cover of the next book, and I'm not going to say anything, but oh my gosh, things have happened, and his backstory is about to happen, and I'm so scared. I have no idea when volume 35 is coming out, but for now, I'm on volume 34. It's probably going to take a long time. I mean, this series has been going on for a decade and there's only 34 volumes, so I'm probably going to be waiting a while for the next volumes to come out, but hey, it's fine. That means I can prioritize Attack on Titan and Berserk. Those are the other 2 series I'm in the middle of. So yes, pretty much done almost Black Butler, and I'm really happy about it because I've been reading it for over a year now probably, so it's nice to finally catch up to it. But with anime and manga aside, let's talk about the books I read in August. I feel like I read more than I actually did, but let's talk about the amount of books first. I read 4 novels, completed 4 novels. Some of them were pretty big, okay, so give me a little bit of slack. 2 of them were DNFs, and 1 of them I only read 80 pages of. So let's talk about the star ratings, and then I'll go on to what books I read. I rated 1 book 2 stars, 1 book 3 stars, and 2 books 4 stars. So not a bad month, I guess you can say. I think the 4-star books really were good. I really liked them. The other ones, mixed feelings on. A lot of them you already know because I did reading vlogs on half of these books, so we're gonna go really quickly through those ones and then discuss the other ones a little bit more. I also had 2 DNFs like I mentioned, so let me talk about the DNFs first and then I'll talk about the books I read in the order I read them in. The first book I DNF'd was called The Dragon by Jasmine Walt. I had a reading vlog on this one and I didn't love my time reading it. Obviously, I DNF'd it 30% in. I liked some of the concepts and ideas, but it just didn't really work out for me. It feels like YA, but with like random adult themes, or maybe just like things that maybe a kid shouldn't be reading. I mean, I know young adult isn't for children, but young adult is pretty a wide range of age demographic, and it just felt kind of strange. I mean, the first chapter opens up with the main character hearing her ex sleeping with someone, and that's like the first few, like that's the first page of the book. And so I'm like, okay, this is a very interesting YA. And then not only that, it just feels very young. I didn't love the writing style. I want to try more from Jasmine Walt though, because she has so many romance books and romantasy books. So I want to keep trying her work, but yeah, I'm a little bit hesitant now considering I didn't love all the works I've read from her. I've only read 3 and I liked 1. So maybe there's a chance. I didn't love this one, unfortunately. It was really cool. It's about a character who isn't really doing well financially. In order to pay off some debts from herself and her friend, she goes to someone's keep, someone that's rich, their keep, and goes to steal something and finds an egg, a dragon egg. And things happen from there. There is going to be a school setting, there's going to be romance, all that stuff, which is cool for a dragon writing book, but again, wasn't really my writing style. If you like YA writing styles and you like the concepts and ideas, I'd recommend it, For me though, it's just a little too young kind of in the writing, so was not really a fan of it myself. The next book, I'm really upset I DNF'd. I didn't want to. I really tried to push through it. I just couldn't do it. This is by Rika Aoki, and this is Light from Uncommon Stars. I wanted to like this so badly. I got 40% in, which is 144 pages, and I really did try to give this a genuine chance, but I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was like the writing itself. The writing was really good in my opinion. I don't know what it was. It felt like a bunch of different things kind of just coming together that kind of didn't really work perfectly for me. The one thing I really liked about this book was Katrina. Katrina is our transgender main character, and I really, really liked them a lot. I mean, I was like rooting her on the entire time. I wanted the best for them. They go through some really dark stuff. There's some really dark things within this book, despite the fact that it has like some cozy vibes. It's really confusing. It's like an urban sci-fi with like some cozy elements, but very dark topics kind of mingled together. Like I said, it didn't really work for me. The plot of Katrina was my favorite part of the entire book, and I wanted to see what was going to happen with Katrina and Shizuka, who is her teacher. So I really wanted to see what was going to happen with that in the regards to the violin. Because in this book, we're following Shizuka, who is a violinist. She's a teacher, and she wants to get the souls of people in order to, I forgot why, but she's trying to get the souls of, I think, 7 or so violinists, and she's on her last one, and Katrina is going to be this final one. Although there is like this relationship they kind of build together, and it has this kind of moral dilemma of what do I do? Because like I really like Katrina, but I also need to do this thing. I have one left. That's the thing I was most interested in. I want to see what was going to happen. I never actually ended up finding out what happened, unfortunately, but I wanted to know. We're also following Lan, who is someone that works at like a bakery. It's just so confusing. There's a relationship between her and Shizuka, which is really sweet, but I just didn't think it flowed really well. I don't think the romance really worked for me, and I love romance and I love like sapphic romance, but it just didn't really like feel natural. It was kind of quick, and it feels like there's like 3 different ideas happening at the same time, and I just wanted to focus on one. I really wanted to focus on Katrina and what happened to her and everything like that. And so it's an interesting concept, really interesting ideas. It just was so random. Like there's demons, sci-fi, aliens, bakery, very dark themes with transgender characters. It has a bunch of different things, violinists, really interesting, really cool concepts, but again, did not work for me. I really did try to get through this book. I might try to pick this up in the future when I'm really ready for it, but right now I don't think I can. I'm just not currently interested in reading it because it just was hard for me to get into and absorb myself into. So I'm gonna put this probably on hold. I'm just gonna say I DNF'd it for now. There's a potential I might go back to it because I like a lot of the concept and ideas. I just didn't care enough because I just couldn't get into it enough. So with those 2 DNFs aside, let's talk about the books I actually ended up rating for the month of August. The first one, again, I already have a reading vlog for this. I feel like there's a theme in this regard, but I read Funny Story by Emily Henry. I gave this a 3 stars. Honestly, it's a solid 3 stars. I didn't hate this book. I mean, I didn't mind it. It was okay. Emily Henry just doesn't seem like an author for me. I don't think her romances work. I love romance, like I mentioned, but I don't think her writing style works for me, and the way that she writes romance is just not my favorite. I don't really know how to explain it. The way that she writes them is just like, I don't want to say boring, because that's so mean. Like, if you like Emily Henry, please don't get mad at me. I already had people disliking my last one, which is fair, reasonable. If I said something mean about Emily Henry or her books, I probably would never say anything mean about an author unless they're a bad person. Emily Henry is fine. As an author, as a person, she's fine. I just don't love her works. And I know that some people don't like that because they love her. Some people adore her work, which is completely fine and reasonable. I get it. But for me, it just didn't work for me. I don't know why. Her writing style is okay. I don't mind it. But her romances just don't seem to work well with me. They just seem so normal, which is boring for me. I don't really know how to explain it other than that. I don't think it was bad. I really liked the characters and the cast in this book. I liked some of the ideas. I love the forced proximity, the fake dating. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love that so much. But I just wasn't like extremely enraptured in my reading experience for this book. We're following Daphne and Miles. Daphne and Miles have a partner. Their partners leave each other for each other. And so they have to kind of like deal with the grievances of that, kind of grieving the loss of their partners. I mean, they're still alive, but they still lost them because they left them. And so it's this idea of losing someone that you loved in a way of them breaking up with you, and then also having to deal with a new roommate because they become roommates. So it's forced proximity because they have to live together. And then they start to fake date to kind of not get back at the other two. Essentially, they have something going on and they want to show up together. And so they have to like fake date in order to kind of put on this facade. And I liked the idea of it. I really did. I had fun overall. I didn't want to DNF it at any point. I liked it enough to continue it. It was easy to read, and it wasn't something that I had like forced myself to get through, which is why I don't usually tend to read books. Like if I DNF a book, it's because I have to force myself to get through it, and I'm just not worth it. This book, easy to get through. Very simple. I liked the romance. There were some scenes that I was kicking my feet at, but for the most part, I still don't think I loved it enough. I think there was a lot of parts I just didn't really care about. So I just don't think Emily Henry's for me, as I mentioned. I don't think I'm going to read from her anymore. I didn't hate Happy Place. I like this more than Happy Place, but just not enough to continue Emily Henry's works. I'm not going to read from her anymore. There's no point in me reading her books if I'm not going to like them. But if you like her, I'm jealous because I want to like her books so badly. They seem so sweet and cute and like easy, but unfortunately not for me. The next book on this list is one that I am very happy to talk about, and that is one I gave a 4 stars to. And that is, of course, Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher. I had a great time reading this book. This was given to me by May. Appreciate you, May. And I had a great time reading it. I gave it a 4 stars. It was a lot of fun. This is about a paladin who is, by the way, 37 years old, and he is a paladin from a god who has died, and he's kind of trying to deal with the aftermath of that alongside of his other comrades that are also part of that paladin group that lost their own god. They are the Saint of Steel, which makes sense, that's the series name, and they're kind of like dealing with this. Alongside of that kind of self-reflection with Stefan, we also have our female character. Her name is Grace. She's a perfumer, and she's 32 years old. So we have 2 characters in their 30s, which is just perfect. I am 31. I love seeing characters in their 30s. Stefan mentions that he feels like he's old, and then he meets some people that are like 50 and they're like, you're old, what the heck? Like, you're not even old, stop that. And it's just really cute. You talk about how like their bodies are aching and stuff, and I'm like, relatable. But there's so many cute parts of this book, and so Stefan finds Grace in need of help. Their meet cute is hilarious, by the way. This is very much like a cozy fantasy with pretty decent stakes and darker topics sometimes, not very many, but a few, and a lot of like humor. I love the humor within this book. It was so much fun. I was laughing at a bunch of these parts in this book. I had a great time with it, but for the most part, that's kind of like the gist of it. I can't really talk too much about what this book is about other than that. I mean, Grace is a perfumer, so you kind of see her kind of dealing with different scents, and she is a character that loves scents. She always discusses it, and I kind of like it because it kind of gives you that like experiencing what she's experiencing, and I kind of loved the idea of it. And then Stefan is kind of dealing with his own issues, but also kind of being interested in Grace, and it's really cute. It technically is a slow burn. I will say though, there's a lot of like, they definitely want to be together before the end of the book. They only have like 1 or so scenes in this book, and it's at the very end, but they always kind of discuss wanting to be together and always thinking things. So it's technically a slow burn with a little bit of like yearning, I guess you can say, throughout. If you don't like repetitive things, you might not love parts of this book. I mean, Grace always mentions the smell of Stefan, how he has like the gingerbread scent. She mentions it like a dozen times. I don't mind. I didn't really care myself, but some people don't like that kind of thing where it's like constantly mentioned. Like I said, I didn't mind. I understand. She's a perfumer. She loves scents, and so it makes sense as to why she would actually be constantly mentioning it. It's something that she wanted to kind of like bottle herself, literally, and try to replicate with her own perfumes, and I found it kind of endearing. I enjoyed this book immensely. I had a great time with it. Not my favorite book of the month, but close. Second favorite book of the month. And so I had a great time with it. If you like fantasy, cozy aspects with like a little bit of darker topics, or even like some little bit of stakes within, this is a great series for you. I had to read the other 3 books. I think there's 3 left. They're ongoing, but I think there's 3 or 4 more after this book, and I cannot wait to continue the series. I'm hoping I can continue it by the end of the year, if not early next year. The next one is my favorite book of the month, actually, barely beating Paladin's Grace, and that is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I gave this a 4 stars, although I think I brought it up to a 4.25 because I had a great time with it. Like, I cannot stop thinking about this book. This is definitely my favorite book of August because it's just so very simple, so cute. I love my time reading it. Again, I have a reading vlog on it, so I'm not gonna talk too in depth about it, but it has fake dating, it has a grumpy sunshine. He is such like a grumpy, serious guy, but he yearns for her. He falls first. It's just, eat it up. I loved it so much. I was kind of unsure if I would like it because it was so hyped, and I heard like mixed things about it, honestly. I mean, mostly positive, but people kind of started like having like rant reviews, and I was like, maybe there's a reason why people don't like it, but I fall into the group of people that loved it, so I'm happy with that. This is following Adam and Olive, the professor and student. She's not his student, so I don't think it's as weird. He's 34, she's 26, which is a decent age gap. It's an age gap that I'm like, okay, that's not bad because she's over the age of 25 and he's in his 30s, so it's not too bad in my opinion. And she kisses the first guy she sees, and it's Adam. And they kind of had to prolong this fake dating kind of thing, and I love it, okay? I like it. I didn't love a few parts of this book, but you know what? I had a great time with it. I had such a fun time. The steamy scene, in my opinion, it was good. The hotel scene, it was good, okay? So I'm not gonna complain about that one. There's like 1 or 2 lines that were written kind of weird in the first spice scene, or like almost the only spice scene, but other than that, Adam, yeah. I like Adam a lot. I do like Olive a lot too. It's really cool to see characters in the STEM field, female characters I should say, so it was really cool to read. I didn't love the science aspect, I didn't really care for it myself, but I think it's a really important thing to have in books because we don't see it very often, if not ever. So I am very happy to have read it. I think I'm going to read more from Ali Hazelwood, but I'm very happy to actually enjoy this book because I wanted to, and I did. Moving on from that one though, we get into the next book, which is the other book I read for that video, and that is Credence by Penelope Douglas. I give this book a 2 stars, okay? It was originally at 2.5. But then I wondered why I did that. Like, why would I give it a 2.5? So I gave it a 2 instead. Again, if you like this book, that's fine. But a lot of things I didn't like about this book, honestly. We're following Tiernan. She is 17. She loses her parents, and her uncle, her step-uncle, sorry, forgot to add, her step-uncle kind of takes her as his guardian because she doesn't have parents anymore. And so she needs to be cared for by her uncle, Jake. And I said Uncle Jake. Oh God. Her uncle takes guardianship of her, and now she lives in like a place that's like snowed in during the winter with his 2 sons, and romance happens. And honestly, like I don't even know what to say about this book. I already mentioned and rambled about this book. I think the biggest gripe I have is that she's 17 when it starts, and yeah, they don't do anything all the way until she's 18, but the man is like 40 years old. Jake is in his 40s or at least late 30s, and he is lusting after and touching and kissing a 17-year-old. And that, in my opinion, no, that's not my opinion. That's wrong. That's just wrong. And then the brothers, they're like 20 and like 22, but still strange, okay? And the way that it happened is that they were like kind of fell into lust at the beginning and did things, but then almost at the end of the book, it's at the back of the book, so it's not spoilers, but at the end of the book, she falls in love with one of them, and she ends up with one of them. And it's just so random. It's such a sudden shift. She goes from like sleeping with all 3 of them to just falling in love with one of them and just stopping. She's like, I'm not going to be with you 2 anymore. And they're fine with it, which doesn't make sense because they liked her. They literally were like, I love you, or like, we want to start a family together. And all of a sudden the next scene, she just says, I love this one. And they're like, okay, cool. And then the epilogue, I'm not going to talk about that because that's spoilers, but it just felt a bit strange to me, in my opinion. It was just very quick at the end. The men were problematic. Jake needs jail. That should be a hashtag because he deserves it. He needs a guillotine or something. But yeah, just not my favorite book. Again, I had like a 45-minute portion of that video, so I'm not going to even talk too much about it. If you want to know my spoilery thoughts and my ideas and concepts, there is a video for it. But if you'd rather not listen to the details, that's probably for the best. I don't blame you. But yeah, 2 stars. Worst book of the month. Although I did read it really quickly. That's why I didn't give it a low rating. It was very easy to read, very quick. I almost enjoyed my time reading it, but also didn't. So yeah. I also have to mention I only read 80 pages of Oathbringer, but I'm counting it into my page count because of the fact that 80 pages is still something. That's like a small novella or like a manga. So I did read 80 pages of Oathbringer. So that's something. So putting this into the equivalent of pages, I read 2,300 pages in August, which isn't horrible, like I mentioned. I'll put up here all the books I read in the month of August and how many pages I read, and also the reading order I read them in. So this is the books I read in August, my star ratings, my page count, and I had an okay time in August. It wasn't bad, although I had 2 books I really enjoyed. So you know what? That's a win in my books. I'm gonna end the video off here. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know how your August went in regards to your reads, what your favorite book was, if you have a favorite, or if you want to just leave an emoji down below, either because you have nothing to say or just want to show that you watched the whole video. Put a mouse or a rat emoji down below. We have one on Paladin's Grace, so might as well add one if you want to. And with that, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Have some amazing reads in September. Hopefully we find some new favorites, and I hope to see you all soon. Goodbye, everyone.